friends, I'm Meliora. Welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about the new fragrances in my collection. In 2021, I changed the philosophy of how I shop. I kind of polished and rounded some corners where I was trying to implement mindful spending, but I really didn't want to obsess about shopping and penny pinching either. So I made a lot of emphasis on buying the fragrances that I truly wanted, the ones that I tried before and finished all my decants or previous bottles before I buy the second one. There are certain exceptions to that rule. I also prioritized exchanges and I prioritized finishing my decants first and only then buying the bottles later. So today is going to be a collective haul. I'm going to show you all the goodies that I accumulated over the last 2 months of the winter. We're gonna start with my Sandbird order. Thanks to you guys, to my subscribers, I got 3 free decants because you subscribed through my reference link, which is also below if you're curious about that service. Basically the deal there, you get free decant, I get free decant if you use my link. So 3 people subscribed and I got 3 free decants. I decided to, let's start with this one actually. I decided to try a very hot ticket item. It's a new fragrance. I think it was released in either 2020 or 2021 by Room 1015. It's called Cherry Punk. This little rebel really aims at Tom Ford Winter Cherry and other versions of that kind of cherry gourmand fragrances. So they claim that it has cherry, saffron, Sichuan pepper, violet, and black leather. It also kind of brings into my memory there are basically 2 best-selling cherry gourmand scents on the market right now. Obviously Tom Ford Winter Cherry being the most famous of them all and the most expensive of the options. The second one that probably was sold out on Sephora several times over was Victor and Rolf, their Magic collection, and the fragrance was called Dancing Roses. So Cherry Punk, I definitely love the bottle, the red glass, count me in. The name, fabulous. Again, Cherry Punk, it's calling my name. But when it comes to the fragrance itself, I only wore it once and I'm smelling it now and I don't get any trace of any of the notes listed here rather than the saffron. To me, Cherry Punk by Room 1015 is pretty much middle of the road gourmand rose oud perfume with a sort of a little bit of a twist of saffron. I brought 2 other fragrances that I immediately came into my mind from my own collection that I thought would be very similar. This is Perry Alice Oud Saffron Rose Absolute, which is a higher end line by Perry Ellis, but it's still fairly affordable if you look for it online. So this Oud Saffron Rose is, again, it's very similar to me, even though this is not about cherry at all. It's a little bit lighter, just a little bit more put together and less sweet, less heavy. And the second perfume that I thought could be almost a literal dupe is the Malaki line by Chopard, and this is Rose Malaki. Fairly recent addition to my collection. Another take on the very well-rounded, very smooth rose oud with finely milled spices. Honestly, I think Cherry Punk, it falls right there somewhere in the middle. This is definitely a monoaccord type of fragrance. I can't really pull it into any kind of accords or notes. It has kind of a wall of smell. As soon as you spray it, it's just there, and the only thing that happens with time that it just becomes quieter. In a way, it reminds me of Anglemania by Vivienne Westwood, which used to be my signature perfume in my 20s. It's not the same smell though. It has the same kind of punchy monoaccord presence, similar to what Mancera or Mantal used to do with their perfumes. If you're into that kind of olfactory story, you might like it, but for me, to be honest, is a disappointment because it's not cherry. I was waiting for the cherry and I don't find it there at all. The next two that I got is from a relatively new brand, at least to the YouTube perfume community, because I haven't found any reviews and I was very intrigued to try it. This is Veronique Gabai. Veronique is I think she is originally from France, and she spent most of her professional life being an exec in the perfume world of Estee Lauder. Maybe not even necessarily perfumes, but I think perfumes were part of it at some point of her career. So I think she made her buck, I presume. She made her money, she made some connections, and she decided to do herself a gift and start her own perfume brand. And the bottles, this is the first thing that really attracted my attention. The packaging, the design is very much old school hard luxury. I live for it. It's really well done. At least in the pictures it looks beautiful. I don't know how meticulously and well designed it is in person. I actually haven't seen the bottles, but the pictures are amazing. So I got two fragrances through via Scentbird of Veronique Gabai. The first one is Souvenirs de Tunisie, which is devoted to the white florals with kind of the orange blossom and neroli being at the heart of it. It has a very oily presence, and this is what they claim from the beginning, that it has orange blossom absolute. So this is a very heavy on more naturally derived ingredients, at least this particular fragrance. And you can tell it's very smooth, very rounded, and it has a little bit of this kind of oily feel to it. I like it. I get much less of neroli, much more of this kind of orange blossom absolute, almost the little bit of like the orange peel there as well for me. And what's really beautiful, the sweetness here is supported by almond accord. I love almonds in everything, especially perfumes. I kind of like it. It makes me think of the best fragrances that were ever made by Irene. For example, one of their best ones yet to me is Evening Rose. And I actually have here, which I'm going to show you just in a minute, another one by Irene. This is Agea Blossom, also devoted to neroli, but it's a very different kind of scent. Anyway, I kind of like it. The second one is Noir de Mai, and this one is devoted to mossy ambery rose. What I really get here, at least from the first try, is kind of very jammy, very well-rounded vanilla type of rose. I will need to wear it on my skin to actually report to you how it lives and how it opens up. But so far, I'm very impressed with the packaging, very intrigued by the brand, and I must say I like what they do. This strikes me as a very well-balanced, you know what you pay for, but still understandable type of olfactory profiles. It's not too risque, it's not too forgettable either. Now for what kind of goodies I got through exchange. Erica wrote to me again, and we did a little swap of decants and full-size bottles. First, the full-size bottle, which is very nostalgic thing for me. I wouldn't really recommend it for you to try at this point because this is a really cheap perfume. It's very synthetic in its nature, but to me this is my early 20s, if not less than that. This is Escada Lily Chic. When I made the video about how I started with the perfumes, I referenced this perfume, and this is such a unapologetically synthetic, almost neon green, sharp, almost a little bit bitter lily scent with, I guess, lily of the valley hidden there somewhere as well. But it's exactly what I remember it being, and I used to love it so much, and to me it was such a luxury to have a designer scent. Oh my god, Escada. It just brings back good memories. It's kind of like silly. I don't even know if I would really wear it now, but I'm so happy to be reunited with this again because I thought I would never ever see it again. And I'm very glad that it's not spoiled. It's still, because it's what, 30 years old, I think. or something like that. Like it's a very old discarded fragrance. They don't make it anymore. Another perfume that she swapped with me was a 50 ml of a very highbrow. This is like drastic departure from the Little Chic by Escada. This is Perfume Général, very highbrow, intellectual, niche perfume brand from France. Hard to find in the States, especially if you're looking for like more affordable prices, close to impossible. This is Cozy Verde. As far as I understand this, they are reinterpretations of some other perfumes that they released early on. To me, this is a very sophisticated, deep, complex green scent. In a way, this is how I imagine the stalks of flowers, of tulips and of other flowers could smell like. It's both somewhat watery, kind of wet, and yet zesty at the same time, but it's not like a fresh cut grass. It's another type of greenery happening here. This is the kind of scent that I would like to study first and then report later. So yeah, Cozy Verde 2.1 by Perfume Général, my first ever Perfume Général. If you have any favorites from this brand, please let me know. I'm like super curious what you guys like from them. Another decant that we swapped. This is Florist White Rose, and either this got a little bit spoiled or it has a lot of sour musk, because it's very sour and zesty to me. Maybe that's the way it is. Not a big fan. Florist White Rose, I'm not sure. But I mean, I'm glad I had an opportunity to try it. Erica also throw in some like artisan scent samples. If there's anything interesting there, I'll just tell you in some future video, because like we have a lot to go through right now. Ever since I tried Good Chemistry body sprays and fragrances, they become kind of like a staple of fun, interesting, conceptual, but very affordable like fragrances that I always go to, and I always check what new things they have, and I would love to expand my knowledge of their fragrances. They're very cheap, but they're like, I'm yet to find a fragrance from them that would be disappointing, boring, or super generic or like synthetically unpleasant. Everything that they do is kind of fun. They're not super like long lasting, but they're always fun to do. So this is the one that opened the brand for me. I got it in Target like a long time ago. This was Good Chemistry White Lily. Completely used it up and found a whole display of them in the local Marshalls. So I got myself Rustic Woods. I tried them all, but I think I like this one the most. I also have Copra Canyon. I have it in the Eau de Parfum. And yeah, this is kind of woody, mossy type of situation happening. I'll wear it and like report to you later. And the two more that I swapped with Erica, the Good Chemistry Firecracker. Here we have, I think this is like 7.5 milliliters. Unfortunately, these are roller balls. I prefer sprays, but I'll like just pour it into something else. Kind of interesting. The only thing that's regrettable, I don't really see a description of the fragrance anywhere, neither online or on the bottle, because when you create conceptual fragrances, you should accompany them with some kind of marketing story, something that will help people interpret them, help them to depart from somewhere, because this is like a triple blind taste. I have to guess what it could remind me of, but at the same time I can never really double check and verify my impressions against what they were trying to say with this release. So I don't know if Good Chemistry will ever watch my video, but like if you guys do, please add the descriptions, or at least like short inspirational kind of paragraph of what the fragrance is supposed to represent, because this is really hard to recommend when you don't even know how to describe it. Makes me think of Clive Christian Rock Rose. It's kind of a labdanum type of green patchouli type of scent, but labdanum to me can smell very leathery for some reason. Maybe I just think of, I mistake the accord of labdanum with leather. Maybe it's just my thing, but to me this is kind of like a polished, slightly green leathery scent. I kind of like it. And the second one is North Sky. Well, this one is very easy to describe. This is just like a macaroon. It's like a sweet vanilla coconut type of scent. I don't know why it's called North Sky. I don't really, again, this is the problem when you don't have any like marketing story to go by, because in this particular situation, I don't see any connection between North Sky and the kind of sweet vanilla coconutty smell that I detect here. It says that it includes essential oils of lavender, coriander, and eucalyptus. I don't find either. Maybe coriander to a certain degree, but eucalyptus or lavender? Don't detect anything of that kind. As I said, to me this is coconutty vanilla scent. But I still like it. They're so easy to wear, and again, as I said before, good chemistry scents are affordable, fun, not long lasting, but they're not banal. They're always interesting. They're kind of fun and easy to wear, and you can like swap them very easily because they cost almost nothing. My decant from Fragrance Net. I bought a year-long subscription. So basically until it runs out, I'm getting different decants from them. And this particular one is Serge Lutens Dan Delay, which is I think about your milk teeth. So it's supposed to smell of minty toothpaste, blood, and metal, I think, something like that. I might be double check it on Fragrantic or Base Notes, I'm not 100% sure. But what I smell here is some kind of like Barbie / bubblegummy scent. I'm not sure I get it. I don't get any of the accords or associations that are supposed to be there. So I think I'm just gonna pause here and wear it on my skin, because maybe that's the trick. Right now I'm just confused, to be honest. But this is yet another Serge Lutens. I want to try them all, to be honest, but I'm not sure it's feasible because they also ramped up the new releases over the years, and it's kind of impossible to even catch up with everything that they do. So I'm kind of trying to cover my bases with Serge Lutens, like, you know, the oldie goodie kind of type of fragrances that made Serge Lutens what it is now in the niche perfume community. Another fragrance that I got from secondhand from Mercari. I sold a few fragrances there, so some of the purchases were made available to me, were made possible for me because of that. I decided to go with the travel size of this Erin because this is a very pungent neroli scent. It's called Agaia Blossom, and this is the most kind of prickly, scratchy, vibrant neroli scent that I still enjoy wearing. I tried so many neroli-centric scents and I just can't make them work on my skin. They're either too soapy, or they're too screechy, or this or that, or they're teethless. I don't know, it's very hard. Me and neroli don't really go well together. The Agaia Blossom by Erin is the first like neroli-centric. It's all about this kind of like a little bit prickly neroli that I actually like. It is a little bit soapy, but I like even that aspect of it. So Agaia Blossom, so happy I finally got it. I completely used up a small sample that I had. I was contemplating the full-size bottles, but it's a bit, it has almost too much character for me to use up the full-size bottle. This is about the perfect size of what I need. Another situation similar to that is Bottega Veneta, their classic eau de parfum. I never had it. I only had it in the shower gel version, and I love it in the shower. But I couldn't quite pull the trigger. You can't find Bottega Veneta for like really good discount, which to me is the sign of quality. People don't really resell them as much, and if they do, these fragrances hold a lot of their value, initial value. So before I kind of took the plunge and got myself a full-size bottle, I decided to get this mini set. I get a 7.5 milliliter mini and a body lotion. So I'm gonna be wearing that first and then seeing how desperate I am to get a full-size bottle. But Bottega Veneta is pretty much one of the best designer scents on the market. It's just like iconic in its own right. It's a beautiful suede, like mossy shipper fragrance. Just incredible. If you're interested into what shippers are all about, what are leathery and mossy shippers, this is one of the best you can get, and it's easily available everywhere. So I have a mini now, so I need to now prove to myself that I will wear and I need the full-size bottle. So I need to finish this first. And the new little mini that I got from Frederic Malle is their Rose Coeur, the leather and rose fragrance. Frederic Malle is very expensive, but I'm desperate to like have them all just because they are very rich. They are very, I don't know, it's just like it's for perfume snobs. That's what Frederic Malle does to me. I just want to feel like a grown up, and that's what these fragrances do for you. So to be honest, I'm a little bit confused because I don't really detect any leather, neither leather nor rose. Rose Coeur for me is pretty much a very confident, good quality, solid fougere. It's like a very green type of fragrance. It makes me think of certain kitchen greens, I don't know, parsley, this, that, maybe certain kitchen spices, but like non-sweet ones, not the ones that you add to the desserts, the ones that you cook with. But otherwise, I'm not in love, at least not yet. But I have 3.5 ml. I'll be wearing that, and maybe I'll fall in love eventually. A artisan brand that I was dying to try for years is Avalux. Very hard to find secondhand, and I got lucky. On Mercari, I found the fragrance called Noir. I thought it was called the Café Noir, but here it says the Noir Black Tea. And I got myself a 15 ml bottle. The Noir. This is a very smoky, a very dense black tea smell. It's rich, it's deep, and I like it. To me, the quality of this make reminds me, I guess, something Raja Parfums or other designers who pride themselves in opulent and rich perfumes. Maybe Tom Ford even, in a way. I need to make sure that it wears well and it doesn't kind of fall apart on the skin before I really give it like proper praise. But so far, so good. Very impressed. Very impressed. Avalux is my first Avalux perfume, the Noir. And I think this is the last bottle. We're gonna stop here. This is, I broke my own rules. I swore off not buying backups. Swore off it. But I somehow convinced myself. It was like super affordable on Mercari. I love this perfume. I'm halfway through the bottle. Somehow I convinced myself that I made enough money selling a bottle on Mercari so I can buy this one. This is Serge Lutens Féminité de Bois. What can I tell you? I especially appreciate the older style packaging, so I couldn't resist. I just couldn't resist. So now I'm kind of like self-justifying it that I can now sell decants of Féminité de Bois, because before I wouldn't list it online for decants because I only had one bottle and it was half empty. Now I kind of feel like, all right, I have room. Like I can still enjoy it and sell some. So if you guys are curious to try it, let me know in the comments below and I'll list it on eBay or Facebook page for you to try. So, oh no, this is not, this one more. There's one more. And this is quite special. This is DS and Durga White Peacock Lily. I bought them as a bundle together from a beautiful seller on Mercari who was like decluttering her niche perfume collection. This is a very animalic lily. This is the kind of lily that definitely not for everyone, but I love zombie, animalic, over-the-top lily scents. This is like my sin of choice among the white florals. Some people prefer tuberose. White lilies is my weapon of choice when it comes to white florals. And man, it does deliver on all accounts. It's quite a powerful, with a lot of grab to it, with a lot of animalic, almost kind of smothering nature, but I love it. I need to wear it more and see if I actually can pull it off, because it is quite a beast. It's quite a... Charon by Tadlaber d'Orange is like a furry kitten compared to this one. So White Peacock Lily, my first DS and Durga fragrance. Very excited to try this brand. If you tried anything from them, if you have any favorites, please let me know. I'm kind of curious what else is good by them. And I'm gonna end on a teasing note. I did a huge, luxurious designer and niche perfume swap with Joss Jane. That video is gonna be coming next. Please stay tuned. But at this point, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe if you haven't had a chance to do it yet. And I'll see you in the next video.